you've overcome some of the things in the system, should we say the journey that made you stronger and more knowledgeable. With that
Yeah.
said, you started your own venture to help bring awareness to these different areas, especially when you're dealing with $4 billion. I didn't even ask this. I got to ask this first. What were you doing for with these companies for $4 billion?
Yeah, so we would do acquisitions. And so I had a sales team. So my whole department brought in $4 billion year over year, and our clients were dealerships. And so we would do, multi-million acquisitions, and then also we would be the loan provider. So there would be a lot of different ways, but yeah, it ended up being $4 billion.
Wow.
Month over month. And so that's where the coaching comes in, right? Because I wanted to be less frustrated. I wanted to become a better leader, as I said, but I also wanted to be frustrated. When you're managing people, many people describe it as like babysitting. I didn't want to feel like that about my people. Many people describe it as like, I remember this one leader told me, oh, it's kind of like, you love the congregation, but you can't stand no, you love the church, but you can't stand the congregation. I didn't want to feel like that about my people.
Yeah. So
I
so
thought that was, yeah.
so now you're coaching, and we talked about this during the pre-interview. Everybody's coaching. And it
Yeah.
just gets to the point to where you'd be like, this is what I do, really. Yeah. And I'm not
Yeah.
knocking it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But what are you specializing when you say coaching? So I'm not even gonna call you a coach. You're a specialist in opportunity. That's what I'm gonna call it going into 2025. Man, I don't know where
Yeah.
that came from, but it sounded good as hell.
It sounded great. It sounded great.
So what are you doing? What you taking all this experience and put it into a package? Tell me what you're doing to help people to navigate and have a better life.
Yeah. When it comes to really packaging it up and being able to service individuals, I really like to look at it in three pillars: the power of our words, the way in which we communicate; the power of our presence, our executive presence, our leadership presence. Doesn't mean you're leading people, but you still have to lead yourself, right?
Mhm.
And then the power of our influence. How do we create belonging organizations? But when I say an organization, if it's just you, let's think of you as an organization. How do you make sure every single person that comes around you feels like they belong, feels like they can be themselves, feels like, they feel respected and they can respect you?
Mm.
So how do we create that? I feel like when we stop looking at, oh, that person and that person, they did this and they did that, and they made me feel this way. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have said that. When we stop doing that and say, wait a second, my words have power. My presence is a present. And I can make the decision on how others feel when they're around me. I want you to feel great. I want you to feel like you could be you. And my words are going to uplift you in that way. And if you can't reciprocate that, perfect. I release you. It could be that simple. And now, when you're in a work environment, choosing the right questions and calling people to the carpet in a way that is not going to have them defensive, but it'll have them thinking. I'm going to force you to think about what you say when you talk to me.